guys, welcome to Planetside 2, and I'm going to show you virtual reality training in this video. It's a good place to go to become familiar with weapons, different weapons, test out your weapons combinations, attributes, abilities, and the other one, utilities and such. Things that you'd normally buy with certificates you can test out in virtual reality training. So to get there, you go to this terminal, which is a warp gate terminal. These are only in the warp gates themselves, which show up on the map in the territory that you are, which we are purple. So it's down here. This is the VS warp gate. Right? It's the warp gate there. This is the terminal. And that is the terminal there right in front of me that I'm looking at. So they are only there. So every continent has a VS warp gate. For instance, if we go to Izmir, we have a warp gate here. And in Amarish, we have a warp gate there. The only exception being the VR training area, which is where we're about to go. They have no warp gate. So we're going to go to the VR training, which is down here at the bottom. So instead of warping to another continent, we're going to go there. Sorry guys, got a bit of a cold still. Okay, so these are spawn pods. Right? You can't interact with them, you can't do anything with them. You walk in there, nothing happens. They're just spawn pods. Okay, so as soon as you arrive, you notice there's a warp gate terminal there. So this is how you get back from VR training to a continent of your choice. Now, in the VR training area, you have equipment terminals marked by the gun. This is where you can refit. You've got holograms that you can shoot. You can shoot friendly ones if you want. Shoot the hostile ones. You've got shooting range down here. You can go and shoot targets at different ranges. Yeah, it's fun. What I want to show you is in the equipment terminal here. In here, you can fit anything you want, and it won't cost you certificates to fit it, but only while you're here in the virtual reality training area. So only while you're in this complex, on this land. Right. Which is a relatively large skirmish area, basically. So we go back in here, and we have a look. And you can see that I can fit out any gun here I want. Normally I'd have to unlock it, or use certificates. Unlock it with certificates, or money if you're so inclined to buy money. So I would try, it doesn't matter, I'll try this one out, which is a gun that I don't own. I would normally have to unlock, but if I hit resupply, I can fit it. There it is. Yeah, got some nasty kick on it. But then most guns in this game do. Right? You just need to be able to compensate for the kick. Now, you can test out attachments, which you'd normally buy certificates for. You can test out scopes, see if you like it or not. Ugh. I don't know what, is that a vision scope thing? I don't even know what I clicked. You guys can probably see it or rewind the video. What was it? Yeah, it was a night vision scope. So, let's see that one. God, it uses up a lot of screen real estate, doesn't it? All you see is this small triangle in the middle. Yeah, I wouldn't want that. Normally, I go for the reflex sights myself, so I can see as much. Now you got the 1x scope, which is no magnification, 2x, which is twice magnification. So you can see how the targets actually get bigger. You're not getting closer, they're just getting bigger. And the amount of screen real estate used up is minimal. You can still see all around the edges, as opposed to when you use one of those other scopes. Now the other handy thing in here is the compare stats. So you select that gun, hit compare stats, and now if you highlight over any other gun, it will give you the stats of your current gun there on the left and the gun that you're highlighting over on the right. So I'm comparing an LMG to an SMG. And of course the SMG has a higher fire rate, which is 750 RPM, and it's green because it's more than the other gun, which is red, 577 RPM. So this is good if you're trying to work out what gun you want to use based on different stats. If you want one with excellent aiming, or you want one with a high fire rate or a high muzzle velocity. Right. Yeah, I mean this Ursa is better than the flare in all but one way. The flare has a higher rate of fire, but less muzzle velocity and less reload speed. But the Ursa has a lesser fire rate. So it depends on what you want to be able to do. If you think that you need to be able to spray and pray a lot more, you'd go for something like the flare, because it's got a high fire rate, and I mean an SMG is even higher. So we can give that one a try. Yeah, it fires a lot, does little damage, does less damage. Cool. Okay, the other thing you can test out are abilities. So I want to use the adrenaline shield or the nanite mesh generator, whatever. Just fit it. Press T. There it is. That's the shield. Now you can't actually take damage from friends or anyone really in here. You don't take damage. You don't get hit. You don't get. Well, you do get killed, but only when you suicide yourself. So yeah, you can change your grenade. You can try a different grenade, like an anti-vehicle one, if you want. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that didn't work, but if I was a vehicle I'd probably be dead. You can resupply and get that grenade back. Give it another throw. What do I do here? Okay, that's weird. It's not going to let me resupply the grenade. Alright, I don't know why it's not going to let me resupply the grenade, but I'm going to switch to a concussion grenade if I want. Give that a throw. There we go, it's better. You can test that out here. You're not going to see the effects because you know we're going to harm a friendly. But you can also try out different camouflages, appearances, change your appearance, go to, maybe you want to look like you belong in the forest. You're not going to see it on yourself, but everyone else will see you like that. Helmets, armor, you name it. Just, you know, you can try it out. Doesn't look much difference really, does it? There's a little bit of difference on the boots and such, but nothing major. You can try different classes, like the engineer for instance. You can try out their cannon, or Gatling gun, which is 5. This is a fantastic gun for infantry. It does not kick. It's very loud. It's got the shield in front of it, which will stop, which will prevent some of the damage from hitting you. So you're fairly well protected. You're not impervious. because of course people can get you from the side and people can shoot you through that gap in the middle where your head will be. But all in all, not a bad anti-infantry. Not a bad anti-infantry gun. You can place as many of them as you want, but you will always get rid of the last one that you placed by putting another one down. Something else to note, you cannot place it when it's red. So when it's red, it's in a place that you can't put it. Either you're too close to a wall, you got nowhere to put it behind you, whatever. Just move a little bit and you'll find a place where it's green and you can put it down. It does take a little while to, well, take a few seconds to spawn it, and the other one disappeared. Something else is the anti-vehicle one, which is different because it does not have a shield. That one has a shield around it, to sort of protect the user. The anti-vehicle one does not. Put it down there. This one will disappear, and this one appears. A shield, but good for taking out tanks. I don't know. It might do some aircraft, but it's got no locking ability, so you'd have to be a pretty good shot. So yeah, it's pretty much out in front of this thing. 3 hits and you'll take out one of their better tanks. What else is there? There's also the Max. Now the Max is a unique unit. These ones cost nothing to change to. You can change to them in the normal world at will, and you suffer no loss of resources. The Max will cost you your infantry points. These are the total amount of infantry points you have, and I think a Max costs you 350 points. I'm not sure. It'll appear here underneath the equip now how many infantry points it will cost you to equip the Max. Now the Max also has a cooldown on it. So if you are a Max and you switch from being a Max to something else, you won't be able to switch back to being a Max for 5 minutes. And the timer will appear every time you, whenever you look at this screen, the timer will appear and it will count down here in red. So there's that to be aware of as well. But yeah, you can change your guns here if you want to try out something different, abilities, suits, whatever, go for your life. The other thing is the other terminals here, which are the aircraft terminals and tank terminals as well. Now, these vehicles are, to point it out, you can see that that's a ground vehicle terminal there because it's got a tank icon on it. Now there is another ground vehicle terminal, but it isn't actually in this location, so I'll show it to you in a different video. But the other one, the other ground vehicle terminal, you cannot spawn the Lightning or the Mag Rider. I'll go into more explanation about the Mag Rider in a later video. Suffice it to say, it is the best tank available to this faction. It does the most damage, it absorbs the most hits. It is the best tank in this faction. The Lightning is just your basic run-around tank. It can be decked out to take some damage and also do some damage. The Sunderer is a 12-person transport and also mobile spawn point if fitted out like that, and it also can replenish your ammunition if it's fitted out for that. The Harasser is a 3-person dune buggy with a cannon on the roof, and also, no, it doesn't have the ability to fit another one, so it's got the cannon on the roof. And the Flash is a 2-person ATV, which can fit a weapon on the side, which is controllable by the driver, and the person on the back can shoot backwards. Mag Rider is a 2-person heavy tank, so the driver controls this turret, and the second person controls that turret on the top. That can swivel all around, and up as well, I think, but not all the way up, not sure. And the Lightning is just a 1-person tank. Oh, I forgot to mention there as well. These cost you mechanised points. Okay, so every time you spawn one of these, it will cost you mechanized points. The flash, I think by default, is 100, and the harasser is more, and so forth. They just keep going up. So be aware of how many mechanized points you have. Your mechanized points will replenish, right, depending on how much territory you control, and where is it? Can't find it. I'll have to find it in another video and show you. But you can find a place that'll tell you how many mechanized points and how many infantry points and such you're going to get the next tick. Now it's quite regular, so you shouldn't run out too often unless you're going to spawn lots and lots of vehicles. But in here in the virtual reality area, it costs you nothing to spawn vehicles or maxes or whatever. So here we have the aircraft terminal. This one has a Liberator and a Scythe available. The Scythe is a one-person aircraft, which is highly maneuverable, does a little bit of damage, and absorbs a little bit but not heaps. The Liberator is a three-person, right? But you can use any of these vehicles with just one person. But this can carry up to 3 people, and it can have 3 turrets. So you've got one that faces forward, which is that one. You've got one that faces down, which is the belly turret here. And you've got one that is on the tail. So you've got the tertiary turret, which is about there. And that shoots backwards. The Scythe only has the forward turret. So, yeah, and they cost you aerospace points. So you won't use up any mechanized points by spawning air vehicles. And of course the last terminal is this one. This is a Galaxy terminal. Now these are only available at the warp gates or in the VR training area. Right? So you can only spawn a Galaxy at a warp gate, such as this. And the Galaxy is a behemoth. It is a huge flying fortress. You can have 4 gunners and the pilot, so 5 people completely fit this thing out, but it can transport 12 people inside this. So you'll have 5 people playing an active role in it, and the other 7 will just be tagging along for the ride. And of course you can fit these out however you want in VR without costing you any points, just to test out the different airframes and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's the Galaxy terminal. That is a great way to deploy a platoon or a squad and hot drop them on targets, but it is easy to shoot one of them down, so you just got to be cautious of that. Other than that, that's... oh, sorry, there was another thing I was going to tell you, and that is about the recoil on the guns. Now the recoil on guns in this place, in this game, is huge. That's without moving the gun, that's without moving the mouse at all, just holding it steady. It shoots up a long way, and it spreads out the longer you fire. So what we're going to do is this time we're going to fire again, but I'm going to pull down on the mouse slowly to compensate for the recoil upwards. There we go, that's a lot tighter grouping. That will kill someone. That will just make people laugh at you. So go over here and try it out. Yep. Easy. And without pulling back, of course. Yeah, the only reason he died in that is I got him with a headshot. But you can imagine at range, do that sort of thing, and you're not going to kill him. Yeah, waste of time. Okay, so I highly suggest you guys get in here, practice your shooting, practice flying aircraft around, tanks, different fits, what you like, try out the engineer, try out the medic, try out whatever you want, find whatever you like is... or find whatever is best for you. You might like to use turrets, you might like to dispense ammo, and of course you fill up your own ammo at the same time. Just like that. Didn't have to press anything, I just stood near it, which means you can just endlessly keep shooting, and you'll never run out of ammo. Beautiful. You might like to test out turrets or rocket launchers, pretty much anything you want. That was a horrible shot. Considering it's 8 o'clock in the morning, that's not too bad. Oh, there we go. Get the lock-on icon. That's only on some launchers. Not all launchers have the lock-on ability, and not all launchers will lock onto ground and air. Only some will lock onto air, some will lock onto ground. Just come here and test it out. You'll find out. Alright, that's the end of the video. Hope it's been helpful, and yeah. See you in game.